What if I told you that humans have built structures so massive, so unbelievably large, that they stretch for over 100 miles across oceans, rivers, and entire cities? Today, we're counting down the 10 biggest bridges on Earth. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to question everything you thought you knew about what's possible. Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. You're sitting in a car, cruising along, and you look out the window. Below you, hundreds of feet of open water, no land in sight. Just you, the bridge, and the endless horizon. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But this is real life, and it happens every single day on some of the most extraordinary structures ever built by human hands. Bridges are more than just roads. They're symbols of ambition, of ingenuity, of the relentless human desire to connect what seems impossible to connect. So today, we're taking you on a journey across the globe, from the swamps of Louisiana to the shores of the South China Sea, to count down the 10 biggest bridges in the world. So today, we're counting down the 10 biggest bridges in the world. Let's get into it. We're kicking things off with a world record holder. The Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge in China is the longest bridge on the planet. Full stop. How long? 164 miles. That's longer than the distance from New York City to Philadelphia and back. This bridge is part of the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway, and when it opened in 2011, the engineering world genuinely stopped and stared. Here's what makes this thing even more impressive. It was built in just 4 years. To do that, they had 10,000 workers on the job every single day. Think about that. 10,000 people every day for 4 years. The train that runs on this bridge hits speeds of 200 miles per hour. And underneath, rice paddies, towns, an entire lake. The bridge just passes right over all of it, like it's no big deal. But it is a big deal. It's an enormous deal, and it's just number 10 on our list. Coming in at number 9, we're heading to Taiwan. The Changhua-Kaohsiung Viaduct stretches nearly 97 miles and serves as a major segment of Taiwan's high-speed rail system. Now, what makes this bridge truly special isn't just its length, it's how it was built. Taiwan sits right on the Pacific Ring of Fire. Earthquakes aren't just possible there, they're expected. So when engineers designed this viaduct, they had one non-negotiable requirement. It had to survive a major earthquake without failing. Every single pillar, every column supporting this massive structure was engineered to absorb seismic shock, to flex rather than break. It's not just a bridge, it's a masterpiece of disaster-resistant engineering, quietly protecting the people who ride over it every single day, whether they realize it or not. We're back in China for number 8. The Kangde Grand Bridge runs approximately 70 miles and is yet another segment of that incredible Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway. What sets this bridge apart is its location. It stretches directly over the Yangtze River Delta, one of the busiest waterways in the entire world. Massive cargo ships pass beneath it, industrial barges, fishing vessels, and the engineers had to make sure that none of that traffic would ever be interrupted. Here's a fun fact that'll put the scale of this thing into perspective. The amount of steel used to build this single bridge could construct 60 Eiffel Towers. 60. Yeah, let that sink in. Number 7, still in China. The Tianjin Grand Bridge stretches about 73 miles, and unlike some of the others, this one wasn't built over empty countryside or open water. The Tianjin Grand Bridge stretches about 73 miles, and unlike some of the others, this one wasn't built over empty countryside or open water. It was built directly over a densely populated urban area. Homes, roads, markets, schools, all of it right below. And that creates a completely different kind of engineering challenge. You can't just come in with heavy machinery and start working whenever you feel like it. Every phase of construction had to be carefully planned to avoid disrupting the millions of people living underneath. Most of the work had to be done at night, in short windows, quietly. And yet, they pulled it off, which, honestly, makes this bridge more impressive to me than any of the longer ones. At number 6, we have another Chinese marvel, the Weinan Weihai Grand Bridge. Coming in at about 49 miles long, this bridge is part of the Zhengzhou-Xi'an high-speed rail line, and it crosses directly over the Wei River and the vast floodplain surrounding it. Every year, that floodplain gets absolutely swallowed by water during monsoon season. The river swells, the land disappears, the entire valley becomes a shallow lake. But the bridge doesn't care. It stands above it all, trains running on schedule, even as the water rises below. That's what good engineering looks like. It doesn't just work when conditions are perfect. It works when conditions are everything but. For number 5, we're leaving China and heading to Southeast Asia, specifically Bangkok, Thailand. The Bang Na Expressway stretches about 34 miles, And it's different from everything else we've covered so far, because this one isn't for trains, it's for cars. The Bang Na Expressway stretches about 34 miles, and it's different from everything else we've covered so far, because this one isn't for trains, it's for cars. Bangkok has some of the worst traffic in the world. We're talking hours-long gridlock that can make a 10-mile commute feel like an all-day ordeal. So in the late 1990s, city planners decided to think big, really big. They built a 6-lane elevated highway right over the existing road to give drivers a fast, uninterrupted route through the city. When it opened, it was the longest vehicular bridge on Earth. Today, millions of cars cross it every week. And down below, Bangkok just keeps on moving. Chaotic, vibrant, alive, as it always has. Now we're coming home. Number 4 is right here in the United States. The Lake Pontchartrain Causeway in Louisiana stretches nearly 24 miles. And for decades, it was the longest bridge over water anywhere in the world. Here's something wild about driving across it. When you're in the middle, you literally cannot see land in any direction. It's just water and sky. Some people find it peaceful, others find it completely terrifying. The bridge was first completed in 1956, and for years it held the world record for length. That's a legacy. But this bridge has also been through a lot. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina ripped through Louisiana and caused severe damage to the causeway. Sections of it were destroyed. For a while, it was uncertain if it could even be repaired. But it was. It always is. For a while, it was uncertain if it could even be repaired. But it was. It always is. Because that's what this bridge represents. Not just a crossing over a lake, but the resilience of the people who built it and the community that depends on it. Staying in America for number 3, and this one's got a bit of a story. The Manchac Swamp Bridge in Louisiana runs about 22 miles through one of the most remote and frankly eerie landscapes you'll ever see. It cuts straight through Louisiana's swamplands. On either side of you, dark, murky water. Ancient cypress trees draped in Spanish moss. And if you're driving at night, alligators below, complete silence around you, and nothing but your headlights to guide the way. A lot of drivers say it's the most unsettling stretch of highway they've ever been on. But building this bridge was no easy feat either. Swampland is notoriously difficult to build on. The ground is soft, unstable, and constantly shifting. Engineers had to develop entirely new techniques just to lay down the foundation. And yet, it's been standing since 1979. Every single day, carrying traffic over one of the most inhospitable terrains in the country. Not bad. Every single day, carrying traffic over one of the most inhospitable terrains in the country. Not bad. Number 2 takes us somewhere truly dramatic. The Donghai Bridge in China stretches approximately 20 miles. And unlike everything else on this list, this bridge doesn't go over a river, a lake, or a swamp. It goes over the open ocean. Specifically, it connects Shanghai to the Yangshan deep water port on a small island in the East China Sea. It was the first cross-sea bridge ever built in China. Think about what that means for construction. Waves, salt corrosion, typhoons, ocean currents. The engineers working on this bridge weren't just fighting physics, they were fighting the sea itself. The engineers working on this bridge weren't just fighting physics, they were fighting the sea itself. Certain sections of the bridge are elevated much higher than normal to allow massive container ships to pass underneath without any issue. At night, when the lights along the bridge reflect off the ocean surface, it looks like something out of a dream. A thin ribbon of light stretching out into the darkness of the sea. It's one of the most visually stunning bridges on Earth. It's one of the most visually stunning bridges on Earth. A thin ribbon of light stretching out into the darkness. And finally, number 1. The Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge. This isn't just the most impressive bridge on this list. This might be the most impressive structure built by human beings in the 21st century. It stretches 34 miles across the Pearl River Delta, connecting 3 of the most important cities in Asia, Hong Kong, Zhuhai, and Macau. It stretches 34 miles across the Pearl River Delta, connecting 3 of the most important cities in Asia, Hong Kong, Zhuhai, and Macau. But here's the part that blows people's minds. This bridge doesn't just go over the water. Part of it goes under it. Because massive ocean-going vessels need to pass through the Pearl River Delta, engineers built an underwater tunnel section right in the middle of the bridge. You drive over the water, then dip below the ocean, and come back up on the other side. An island was artificially created on both ends of the tunnel just to make the transition work. You drive over the water, then dip below the ocean, and come back up on the other side. An island was artificially created on both ends of the tunnel just to make the transition work. The numbers behind this bridge are staggering. 9 years to build, $20 billion in cost, over 400,000 tons of steel used, designed to withstand a magnitude 8 earthquake, engineered to survive a Category 16 typhoon, built to last 120 years. When it opened in 2018, it instantly changed the geography of southern China. A journey that used to take hours by ferry now takes 30 minutes by car. But beyond the statistics, beyond the records and the engineering specs, this bridge means something. It's proof that when human beings decide something is worth building, when they decide a connection is worth making, there is no ocean wide enough, no storm strong enough, and no challenge hard enough to stop them. That's what bridges do. They don't just connect places, they connect people. And that wraps up our countdown of the 10 biggest bridges in the world. Every single one of these structures represents thousands of hours of planning, millions of hours of labor, and the unshakable belief that what lies on the other side is worth reaching. Because bridges are never just concrete and steel. They're dreams made real. The next time you cross a bridge, even a small one, take a second. Look around. Think about what it took to put it there. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. We've got more incredible stories from around the world. Stories that will genuinely change how you see the planet we live on. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.